Hello friends, how are you? Today we will discuss about the history portion of GS paper 1. As we know, in the GS paper 1, the portion of history plays significant role. That's why we should study about the history portion of GS paper 1. For today, the name of the topic is Sources for the Study of Ancient India. As we know, sources of anything play a significant role. That's why we should study about sources for the ancient India. Without the study of sources, we will be unable to construct the history of ancient India. That's why we should study about sources. The sources for the study of ancient India can be categorized into two groups. First, the literary sources, and the second, archaeological sources. The European scholars charged that the Indian people had no idea about history. They were completely without the ideas of history. That's why in the ancient India, no history books had been written. But it is not true. The process, the views of the Indian people in the ancient India were different from the modern historians. The ancient Indian people had the cyclic view of time. They didn't try to explain the causative relations of time. That's why the views of the ancient Indian people were completely different from the modern historians. That's why in the ancient India, no history books had been written like that of Herodotus and Livy. The objective of the ancient Indian people were to attain four purusarthas. As we know, there are four purusarthas in the Indian traditions and customs, such as dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. The objective of the Indian people, especially the ancient Indian people, were to attain these purusarthas. That's why their all writings were oriented towards these purusarthas only. That's why the modern English scholars were unable to understand the ideas, the views towards history of the Indian people. And that's why, like modern history books, no books had been written in the ancient India. But we are able to get a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about the historical facts and figures in the ancient India. The sources for the study of ancient India can be categorized into two groups. First, the literary sources. The second, archaeological sources. The literary sources are based on the literature written in ancient India. In the literary sources, first come Vedas. As we know, there are four Vedas, such as Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, and Atharva Veda. The Rig Veda is the earliest. From the Rig Veda, we are able to know about the social, economic, political, and cultural conditions in the Rig Vedic period. But we didn't know much about the political conditions from the Rig Veda, as the Rig Veda is based on the social, economic, and cultural life of Rig Vedic people. From the Yajurveda, Samveda and Atharvaveda. We know much about the post-Rig-Vedic period. The social, political, economic and cultural life of the post-Rig-Vedic people are explained by these Vedas, such as Yajurveda, Samveda and Atharvaveda. But especially from Yajurveda and Atharvaveda, we are able to know about the post-Rig-Vedic period, the later Rig-Vedic period, as the slokas of Samveda had been taken from the Rig Veda. After Vedas come the Brahmanas. Brahmanas plays significant role for the study of ancient India. Brahmanas are prose works and they explain about rituals and sacrificial cult, and they are the good source for ancient India. That's why we study about Brahmanas for the study of ancient India, for the historical facts and figures for the ancient India. Moreover, Aranyakas and Upanishads are also the best sources for the study of ancient India. Aranyakas had been written in jungles or forests. That's why they are called Aranyakas. In Sanskrit, the meaning of Aranyaka is jungle or forest. That's why these books are called Aranyakas. And Upanishads are the philosophical books. And in these books about soul, or you can say about Atma and Paramatma, had been written in Upanishads. After Upanishad, the Vedangas play significant role for the study of ancient India. There are 6 Vedangas, such as Shiksha, Kalp, Nirukta, Chand, Vyakaran and Jyotish. Kalp Sutra had been divided into 3 groups, such as Sraut Sutra, Grih Sutra and Dharma Sutra. About Sraut Sutra, we know about sacrificial cult and rituals. Grih Sutra is about the family life, and Dharma Sutra is about the values of political life. Purans also play a significant role for the study of ancient India. Purans, there are 18 Purans in our ancient Indian history, and these Purans play a significant role for the construction of history of ancient India. But these Purans are biased, so we should be cautious in the study of Purans. Some scholars, such as Romrila Thapar, had underlined the socio-economic approach in the study of Purans. That's why we should study Purans cautiously. After Purans, the epics of ancient India play a significant role in the study of the sources of ancient India. These epics are Ramayana and Mahabharata. These epics had been finally written in the Guptan age, and these epics explain about the social, economic, political and cultural conditions about the Guptan age. After the religious literature, after the religious Brahmanic literature, the Buddhist literature also plays significant role in the construction of the ancient Indian history. In the Buddhist literature, we study about Tripitakas, Ashokavadan, Divyavadan, Deepavans, Mahabans, etc. The Buddhist literature had been written in local dialects. That's why, first of all, the earlier scholars gave focus on the Brahmanic literature only. But after some time, the scholars realized that the Brahmanic literature are elitist in its character. That's why we are unable to understand a complete picture of the ancient Indian history from the Brahmanic literature only. That's why the later scholars focused on the study of Buddhist literature, as the Buddhist literature is based on the life of common people. That's why the later scholars focused on the study of Buddhist literature. These Buddhist texts are based on the life and philosophy of Buddha, and after the Buddhist literature, the Jain literature also plays significant role in the study of ancient Indian history. We are able to form, or we are able to construct the ancient Indian history through the Jaina literature also. That's why Jaina literature is also significant in the study of ancient Indian history. As we know, Jaina literature is based on the life and philosophy of Mahavir Swami. After the religious literature, we highlight the importance of secular literature. Many secular texts had been written in the ancient period, and on the basis of these secular texts, we are able to construct the ancient Indian history. Arthashastra, written by Kautilya, played significant role in the secular literature. Arthashastra is related to the Mauryan period. A major portion of Arthashastra had been written in the Mauryan period, and this book is based on the social, economic, political life of the Mauryan period. But especially Arthashastra is a polity book, but we know much about the Mauryan period from Arthashastra. Many other books had also been written in the ancient India that form the part of secular literature, such as Mahabhasya, written by Patanjali, and Mrikshakatika, written by Sudrak, Mudra Rakshas, written by Vishakadatta, etc. Vishakadatta, written by Mudra Rakshas, written by Vishakadatta, is also a famous book on the Mauryan period. We know much about Mauryan period from Mudra Rakshas. We are able to know about Chandragupta Maurya from Mudra Rakshas, and many more things. Then comes Sangam literature. Sangam literature is based on the history of Tamil period. The Sangam literature can be divided into two groups, and we know much about Sangam literature. We know much about Tamil history from Sangam literature. We also able to construct the history of ancient India from the foreign accounts. The foreign accounts can be categorized into three groups. First, the Roman Greek accounts. The second, the Chinese accounts. And third, the Arabian accounts. The Roman Greek accounts play significant role for the study of the sources of ancient Indian history. The Roman Greek scholars first of all mentioned about India. It was Herodotus who first of all mentioned about India, and many companions of Alexander who came to India were also mentioned. Many companions of Alexander also mentioned about India. Those were Nearchus, Enesicritus, Aristobulus, etc. And the Indica of Megasthenes, also a significant source for the study of ancient India. Megasthenes was ambassador in the court of Chandragupta Maurya, and Megasthenes had written about the administration or the social, political and cultural life in the Maurya period. And Indica is a significant source for the study of ancient India.